Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom for this upcoming week of May 14th through May 20th, 2023. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003, which I write about in my award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. I'd like to welcome back my loyal subscribers, my followers. It's lovely to be in your energies once more, and thank you so much for liking and sharing and recommending these YouTube videos to others. Now, for those who are new, let me share a little bit about myself. Through my full-time business, Angel Healing House, which I created 20 years ago in 2003, I am a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world. I am also a clairvoyant and intuitive psychic tarot card reader. I do past life clearings and ancestral healings, and of course, those transformative, re-energizing, recharging, rebalancing Reiki energy sessions, which can either be done in my office here in beautiful Santa Monica, California, or they can be done online through distant healing anywhere in the world. Now, speaking about past life sessions, I received this absolutely lovely testimonial from a client who had a past life session with me, and they wrote, "Wow, I just had the most remarkable past life ancestral clearing with Claire Candy Hoff, Angel Ariel, and I cannot believe how free I feel. I feel as if years of doubting myself and low self-worth have been transmuted into a sense of lightness, as if anything is possible now." As her angelic family lovingly held my hand as we walked back through time, stopping at pertinent lifetimes for me to revisit, I saw with my inner vision what she saw in the contracts that I had written in my book of life, things like who I was, my gender, my circumstances that I chose, and the roles that the people who are in my current life played back then. After seeing the part that I contracted to play in these people's lives, I felt all the resentment, the anger and blame melt away, and was brought to tears how only love remained. I highly recommend that you have a walk back into your past to not only understand who you are, but how you can live your most amazing life. Claire Candy, Angel Ariel, you are a gift to all who cross your path. And that comes from Karen in New York. If you'd like to book any of my services, please do phone me at Angel Healing House at 831-277-3716. And remember, that's Pacific Standard Time. Or you can always visit my website with all of that information. And that website is angelhealinghouse.com. I'd like to thank all those people who have made donations for my free content. And perhaps you've gotten clarity and direction, inspiration from and motivation from these videos. I have left my PayPal link in the description box down below, along with all of my contact details. Now, here on Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, we do pull runes, we pull oracle cards and tarot cards, but before we get to any of those, we look into the astrological heavens to see what planetary energies will be affecting us. Now, after many, many people were slammed while integrating the powerful energies brought on by the 5-5 portal, that was May, which is the number 5, and the day, which 5, this upcoming week will see the start of some encouraging forward-moving energies. Now, the posse of angels, my angelic family, who I am part of, we are all anticipating a chorus of Hallelujah as Mercury, which has been in retrograde for the past 3 weeks, since April 21st, will be stationing direct into Taurus. Since it is in the very grounded sign of Taurus, it could have us entertaining thoughts of, yes, let's be productive again and progress to our goals, focusing on our relationship with also money and finances. And while it starts to station direct tomorrow on May 14th, do remember it takes a good 7 to 10, even up to 14 days, 2 weeks to get up to speed after being stationary for such a long time. So don't rush to push things forward. Instead, the posse of angels and I are suggesting to be observant as to the signs and messages that now are free to flow in and will be revealed to push things, to advance things forward easily and gracefully. Then, couple of days' time, on May 16th, we have one of the most anticipated and biggest shifts of the year, as Jupiter, many of you know that's the planet of good fortune, good luck, and prosperity, enters the very grounded sign of Taurus. Every time Jupiter enters a new sign, it heralds that something in our lives is about to change. With Jupiter also being the planet of abundance, growth, and expansion, it will expand on those Taurus themes. And those Taurus themes are themes of self-worth, money, and material possessions. And if there's one thing that the bulls love, is their security of their paddock, where they live. The posse of angels is saying that there are many now in the collective who are now feeling a greater urgency to move locations so that they can feel that sense of comfort, stability, and also security. Now, along with increasing forward motion energies of Mercury, the planet of communication, going direct, Jupiter in Taurus is encouraging us to take practical steps towards achieving our goals, without pushing and forcing, of course. With it being such a lucky time, this transit helps us to get what we want, and it will see the happiness levels of many growing as our passion projects, those things that we've created or put time into in our professional lives and in our personal lives, we'll see both of them getting fired up again. When the energies do start to move forward, after being quiet for so long over the past month, perhaps the only thing that we might need to focus on now when our schedules do get busy again is managing our time to ensure that we balance out our work and our personal life. The powerful combined energies of the 5-5 portal, let's not forget the Scorpio lunar eclipse, Mercury retrograde, and May 1st's Pluto retrograde are presenting a challenging time of integration with these energies for many. Now, do remember that Pluto is associated with renewal and rebirth and represents endings and new beginnings. This powerful rebirthing energy is presenting a time that is not only collapsing the old world, but it's also raising the frequencies to anchor in the new era of light on planet Earth. These fifth dimension frequencies are helping us to shed very deep layers of fear-based energies and limiting core beliefs that are no longer in alignment with our highest soul truth, and they're no longer reflective of our divine eternal natures. This massive wave of energy is collectively releasing deep programs of control, manipulation, and resistance, fear of the unknown, fear of becoming our own divine, sovereign, autonomous being without defaulting to any authority outside of ourselves. this clearing out of absolutely anything that is no longer in our highest alignment. It's triggering many and caught them by surprise. And what it's bringing up is the energy of those oaths, bonds, vows, pledges that many of us took in former incarnations. Either we took them by our own volition, or because we were forced through pain of death, or perhaps death to our families, to sign on to a very dark agenda, to manipulate and to use our energies. It's causing many to be emotionally distressed and distraught, as now being elevated with higher consciousness, we can actually feel and become aware of the pain, the destruction, and devastation which our signing on to these dark energies caused. In my past life sessions, my clients are clearly able to see where they've given their power away when they signed on to carry out dark vows, oaths, bonds, or contracts. And then, together, the posse of angels, myself, and the client, we transmute and we transform all those former dark energy attachments. We cut the cords with any former bonds that we had unconsciously or consciously made. Now, during this planet Pluto retrograde of rebirth, and Pluto will remain in retrograde until October 2023, many will decide that they've outgrown people, habits, patterns, jobs, even locations where they live, and they feel a great urgency to make changes in order to usher in a new lifestyle, a new life. By opening to co-create this new rebirth with spirit, we open ourselves for the miraculous and the magical, unlimited possibilities to play a part in the creation of our new lives. In many cases, this will improve our finances and relationships to help us feel more stable and more secure. In fact, this is the blueprint of what these energies are helping us to manifest. On both my radio programs, and by the way, my radio program, Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio, now in its 12th year, is presented weekly on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. And you can call in for free mini angel readings. So on my radio programs and on YouTube's, the Posse of Angels and I have spoken about becoming empowered, standing up for ourselves, finding our voices, and becoming the new leader in this new era of light by sharing our gifts with others and considering what do we wish to create to leave a legacy for our beloved planet. Now, the Posse of Angels is assuring us that the revelations and disclosures about the corruption, the lies, the deceit, things like this are all coming to a head now to form the perfect storm to dismantle the dark influence on the planet. This forward motion of the planet of communication, Mercury, the rebirthing and regeneration of Pluto, and they're in the very grounded sign of Taurus now, is making us unconsciously, and in some cases it's consciously, we're feeling forced to live under the most manipulative, controlling, dark, ill-intentioned energies for the past, which has been going on for the past millennium, hundreds and hundreds of years. It's hard to fathom that before each of us chose to incarnate and return into this physical human form, we knew about this darkness that had hijacked planet Earth from experiencing the light of God Source Creator, and we chose to incarnate, to work as a collective to help the planet find its way back to being God-centered once more. This has been done now, and what we are seeing is the cleanup as more truth and more freedom comes to light. Instead of putting our energies into wishing to see tribunals and as any sort of vindication for what we have been through, the Posse of Angels and I suggest that you put your focus on owning what each of us chose to put ourselves through, to awaken ourselves and wake so many people up as to what was being done to the planet through dark control and manipulation. And the Posse of Angels is sharing that it would be of best service to put our energies and our feeling and visualizing the world of truth and freedom that we wish to realize. Actually be the example of the change that you wish to see in the world. Be so proud of yourself, for collectively we have accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. And with each passing day, we'll see more and more of this glorious new world of light that we are birthing together. And here on Walk in Angel Ariel's, as promised, we choose runes. And the two runes that came out today, usually I choose only one, but the rune that came out today was this one. Let me see here. I think they came out in this order. Yes, they did come out in this order. Let me just see my notes here. Yes, and when I chose the runes, the first rune that came out was this one. It's Awats, and it's the rune of movement. I did laugh when this rune came out because we're talking about Mercury moving forward. We're talking about Jupiter going into Taurus and putting a movement on our good fortune, our good luck, good luck and prosperity and abundance, and moving all of that forward. It's some words to describe Awats are progress, movement, and its symbol is that of the horse. Now, when I teach tarot, I share with my students that horses are often a sign of not only progress, but personal power. And many of us are having this feeling of freedom and liberation now. This to create our new lives. This rune signals transits and transitions and physical shifts. It could be in places, again, where we live, shifts in our perceptions, in our attitudes of ourselves to bring about this new life. The movement brought on by this rune always heralds a sense of improvement, in improving an area of our lives, in bettering a situation with steady growth through many shifts and many changes. It could be the growth of a business. Now, it also could be the growth of an idea, a growth as to experiencing and discovering more about ourselves. This often happens when we are courageous enough to move to change our locations, change our careers, change our jobs, as these things open us up to new experiences, new opportunities, and meeting new people to enrich our experience of life. Awats is asking us now to turn our face towards our destiny and face our future reassured that good luck, good fortune, prosperity, and abundance, Jupiter's influence in Taurus, is coming our way. So that's the first rune that came out, which was Awats. And the second rune that came out is Monats. There is a rune cycle, very much like the cycle in the tarot cards that go from the Fool to the World, and we each live these cycles to learn these lessons. And when the cycle is done, what do? We don't shuffle off this mortal coil, but we start again at a new cycle. And Manats is starting again and writing on a clean, clear slate. For this rune is the rune of the self. And it corresponds very much to the Fool card in the tarot, because we are back at square one. But we don't mind being back at square one because we are excited. We're excited to co-create our new cycle with Spirit, and we are open to those signs and messages and signals for Spirit for us to be clear enough in the present moment, for Spirit to give us, to show us how to step forward. You know, we've garnered much information and wisdom and lessons, and many lessons from that former cycle that we were on, but that's finished now. And we're very excited to see how we can utilize our wisdom. Many of us are, after seeking what we were looking for outside of ourselves, have realized that the real treasure was always inside of ourselves. For there is nothing that is more powerful to create the reality that we wish for than what we have been divinely blessed with. We've been divinely blessed with the gift of abundance, as our natures are abundant, and the free will to be able to utilize our energy. But now, with all that we've been through, we feel this sense of liberation and freedom to finally understand this and know this in our heart, because we've come home to ourselves. This rune is asking us to live our lives in a non-ordinary way, ways that nourish and nurture our soul. As we clear all of the illusions of ourselves from the past, then we become kinder, more compassionate, more forgiving, sweeter, more generous, and gentler with ourselves. And it is from these energies that we will write on our clear slate now, and we will choose a life of service to ourselves, doing what we have been divinely gifted with and was seated in our soul to do, and being of service, then of being of service to others, and being modest and being humble, devoted and joyful, as we revel to find and to feel that sense of being at home just by being ourselves, home to our divine, authentic nature. And Manats is that rune that brings us full circle back to the beginning of a new cycle. For additional messages, I went to my Wisdom of the Oracle cards. These are lovely. And the card that came out, again, I had a giggle because this card is new life. We've been speaking about liberation, freedom, moving locations, moving jobs, moving careers, relationships, all of these things, and having the freedom within to do so. This signals the birth of those new opportunities and a feeling of renewal. Miracles. And the posse of angels are saying that they are not using that word lightly. Miracles are beckoning all of us at this time of creating our part for this new planet of light. You will be directed if you are observant and you ask Spirit to show you and direct you where it is that you need to go for your highest service. You will be shown. Open to new inspiration, as abundance will shine in surprising, prosperous, and abundant ways. This new energy is revitalizing our lives and is bringing in good fortune for so many of us, that have completed that cycle. And we're ready. We're ready as we are open to receive. Many of us have let go of the expectations and attachments as to the way that we thought those opportunities or our life should, ought to, or had to manifest. And when we let go and surrender and release, then we can open up to the miraculous, magical ways that Spirit can co-create with us. And the next oracle card that came out came from this beautiful deck, El Key Oracle, She Who. And I don't think I've chosen this card before. This card, Carly, came up. She Who Frees. Well, we've been using the words freedom and liberation over and over and over. Unrestrained freedom, liberation, unrestrained, and freedom. Plain and simple, with the messages about forward movement, starting afresh, being renewed with a new attitude and new perceptions of ourselves. The new life card, well, this is another confirmation. We're all at a stage where vitality for life returns, as we can end anything that we feel is holding us back. We are now free to co-create and manifest the desires, the fulfillment of our dreams for the life that each of us wishes to create now and co-create with Spirit. How wonderful. This feeling of freedom and liberation, finally. Well, I say finally, but we as a collective needed to get to the stage where we stood together in unification against a very dark, corrupt system, to come together and to realize that it was always we who had the power. And if we were separated, then somebody could easily have broken us. But we've come together in solidarity, helping each other, unifying, and that is our greatest strength, because the treasure and the answers were always inside each and every one of us to contribute to the whole. Let's go to the tarot cards and see what comes out. Okay, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. It is such a wonderful time going into mid-May. As I said, Mercury's going forward. And, even if you don't buy into technology perhaps breaking down or, emails getting lost in cyberspace, even if you don't, buy into, or not buy into, but believe that there'll be miscommunication of any sort, or that there'll be holds up in travel and things like that. It does feel like things do slow down during a Mercury retrograde. And I've said on a number of my programs, I'm glad that they do, because it gives us time to review our projects, to review our lives, to clean out our closets, because every time Mercury then goes forward, the new appears on the horizon. And we want to make sure that we're squeaky clean and that we've cleaned up not only our closets and our desks and our drawers, but, we've found closure on relationship issues or on things that we didn't have the time when our life was very busy before. So let's cut the cards and see what comes out. First card that's coming out, is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is turning once again. It's turning, and that's the forward motion. That's the forward motion, and it's freeing up the karmic, fated, destined paths that many of us are going to be stepping on. It's a 10, which is a 1, new beginnings, bringing in that new life, finally free and unrestrained, in order to turn without any interruption or any squeakiness in the wheel or whatever. But it is now turning. Now, I did pull some other cards from this other tarot deck to clarify. The Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the 7 of Cups. And this wheel, with it turning, will then present a plethora of events, people showing up, things, choices. Suddenly our lives get busy again because the wheel is free to turn now. It's completely free and liberated to turn. And so lots of these things come in. I like that it's the number 7. It's a lucky number. And with Jupiter going into Taurus, it brings us very grounded luck. So let me see there. So that's that. Next card. We get another new beginning card. We get a new beginning in Ace. This is the breakthrough that many people have been wishing for. Right outside of my window, there's a hummingbird. And the hummingbird is the bird of joy, of absolute, joy and harmony and love. And it's a lovely thing. It's just hovering right outside my French doors there. The Ace of Swords is also, we now have the courage and the bravery to step onto a new path of our lives. And the Ace of Swords is one that we're cutting through. We've cut through anything in our lives, any people, again, habits, patterns, jobs, where we live, those things that no longer serve us anymore, to be able to step on our new path. And the card that's clarifying that is the 3 of Cups. This breakthrough for so many of us will be bringing in the people who we will celebrate with. These people not only we'll be working with them, like-minded people, collaborating. As I said, our strength was always in coming together and uniting to create new structures and new systems on our planet for the betterment of the light. And that was always our power. So I loved these 2 cards came out. And 3, of course, is the number of miracles and creation. So there's that card. So we've got 2 1s so far. Well, a 10, which is a 1, and then the Ace of Swords, which is a 1. The next card that comes out for us, it's another 1. It's the Ace of Cups. Woo! We've got 2 aces in a row. Well, if that doesn't speak about a clean slate, a clear slate for us to now write on, a new cycle for us to have, doing something that we absolutely adore. Now, I spoke about this with a client recently, and she said, "But I'm afraid because I maybe I'll be asked to do something that I haven't done before." And I said, "Spirit will never ask you to do something that you absolutely cannot do." I said, those of us who will be going into new areas, we will be taking all of our skills and our gifts, our talents and our abilities that we will adapt to these new things. But Spirit, and there's the dove, the Spirit knows that the fish, money, abundant, prosperous things that we are going to be given to by the hand of God, that will fulfill us like a cup overflowing, and we will love doing it. Sure, we may have to get up to speed a little bit and to be able to do it and learn some new skills, but we are then more than capable of doing that. And the card that is clarifying this is the Ace of Cups. Doesn't happen very often, but it's happened now. And I'm going to ring the bell. Not only two matching cards, but the Ace of Cups. That really confirms that we are in alignment now, we are free, and we are liberated. So watch your thoughts, watch your words, watch where you put your attention on to see what signs you are given now with this forward motion happening. I love that the 2 Ace of Cups came out. Next card, how many cards? They're saying 7. 6 of Swords, movement. movement from perhaps what was a choppy situation, perhaps nothing much was happening, or there was a slowdown, or what you were doing before was okay. There's nothing wrong with it, but you're feeling this urgency inside of you to move on. Well, now the break in the breakwater will happen to move us into calmer waters. And the next card that comes out for that is the number 7 card. It's the card of the Chariot. It's the card of movement. It's the card of recognition. It's also the card of traveling. Many of us will be moving not only to different cities, maybe different states. Some of us may be moving over water, overseas. Just be open. Just be open as to where your soul needs to be in the world to be of next service. I love that these 2 movement cards came out together. Great confirmation for our liberation now. Oh, and yes, the Chariot card it also is a card of being promoted and rewarded and recognized. So those of us that are going to be offered new business opportunities, new jobs, new careers, new things to join our organization is because somebody recognized our skills and wants us on their team. Next card, please. Look at that. We have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of movement and travel. You can't make this stuff up, for goodness sake. Okay, all right. So I often call, when I teach tarot, I often call this knight the ants in the pants card, because he is so excited and he is so enthusiastic and passionate about moving forward that he does forget to many times to cross those T's and dot those I's. But it is definitely a card of movement. You can see the swirling in the clouds above, the pheasants suddenly being surprised. These offers or these things that Spirit is co-creating for us will seemingly come out of the blue, but they've been worked on for a very long time by Spirit for the fulfillment of our desires and how we're going to be serving on the next part of our journey. What is coming out, I love the clarity, is Magician. It's another 1 card. This is the alchemical things that we have been doing unconsciously and co-contributing with Spirit, because Spirit knows us better than we know ourselves in our human ego way, and we often limit ourselves as to what could miraculously happen. And now these 2 are being put together, the alchemizing as above, so below, in order to create that movement in our lives that are going to easily and gracefully open the doors for us to move forward. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spirit did say 7. Oh my gosh. Double confirmation. We have the Chariot again. How many cards of movement do we have? The Wheel of Fortune is the card of movement. The 6 of Wands is the card of moving forward. The Chariot is the card of moving forward. And we got double chariots. And they're not under each other, but as in the Ace of Cups. But here we have the card of recognition, promotion, and rewards coming in, and moving and traveling, and that the card that's recognizing or clarifying that is the 3. We've got 2 3s, the card of creation and miracles, and the 3 of Pentacles is the card of being remunerated, being financially remunerated for your gifts and your talents and your abilities, and being contacted to work with others and to come and to unify now. And this might mean you being offered something that you will have to travel and you will have to move. And this is the card of moving, physically moving in many cases. So there are those two cards, and they're saying one more. Got 3 aces. 3 aces. With Jupiter going into Taurus, the Ace of Pentacles shows up. The only one that we did not get was the Ace of Wands. But with the 6 of Swords, with the Knight of Wands, with double chariots, with the karmic wheel turning in our favor, with the 3 of Cups, the celebration card, doing what we love, we really didn't need that Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles is that hand of God bringing in that good fortune, good luck, prosperity, and abundance to help us move forward in this new cycle. It's very, very grounded. And the last clarifier we have is bringing in balance. It's the Justice card. Bringing in what is truth for us, what we know in our hearts is our just due, the justice, the truth, and also the balance in our lives. Wow, I absolutely adore this. I hope all of that's been helpful for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like a free mini angel reading, well, tune into my Angel Healing House Blog Talk radio show, which is in its 12th year, and it is on, of course, Blog Talk Radio. And it airs every week on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I do take calls for free mini angel readings. Go out, everybody, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. If you are needing some direction, some clarity, some inspiration, some motivation, please do contact me for one of my services, intuitive counseling, Reiki energy healings. Either you can come in personally in my beautiful office here in Santa Monica, California, or anywhere in the world online through distant healing. Those angel tarot card readings, which are revealing and absolutely inspirational, and also past life clearings I offer, and also ancestral healings as well. And you'll find more information about my #1 Amazon International best-selling books, and all of that is on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. I'm wishing you love, and as always, angel blessings. And I look so forward to seeing and speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.